Back in fourth in the Ultima behind Correct Rambler, Fast or Slow, and Monbeat Genius was the Goffer. Go back and watch that race. He doesn't stay the trip. He didn't quite get home, and that's why he faded back to fourth. He actually travelled really, really strongly. He then went to Fairy House, which was a little bit of a surprise. I was hoping that connections were right, and I was wrong in the fact that they stepped him up to 3 mile 5 for the Irish National. I don't think they were right, and I think I was right. He didn't stay again. He actually travelled fine, started to come into it, and then didn't get home and ended up pulling up. You know, he went from going quite nicely to finding nothing very, very quickly. He then came over to England for Sandown for the Bet365 Gold Cup, and he did the same again. He travelled nicely behind horses that stay really strongly. Kitty's Light, Revels Hill, Maroda. Ran fine for fourth, didn't get home. They then dropped him back slightly, or they dropped him back in trip to the Galway Plate, where again he travelled well. I don't think he quite got home again, even over 2 miles 6. Last time out, they stepped him back up to 3 mile for the Kerry National, and he's run nicely. He's finished fifth. I really, really, really believe that this horse wants 2.5 mile, no further, or 2 mile 5 at max. The last time he actually won a race was a feature handicap. If we just load this race up, he won a decent handicap at Leopardstown. What was the prize money? Just waiting for this to load. For 78 grand. And when he won it, it was over 2 mile 5. That's got to be the distances they want to be going over. They could, possibly come back for this race in February, or they could go for like the Paddy Power and the Caspian Caviar or whatever those races. Coral Gold Cup. No, that's the Ladbroke Trophy, although that's actually now called the Coral Gold Cup, isn't it? All the name changes are just ridiculous. But the 2.5 mile races at the Cheltenham, not the Cheltenham Festival, but at Cheltenham in November and December, are the races that I really hope we see the Goffer. If he turns up in those races, I'd be really confident of a massive run of his current Irish handicap mark of 145. Probably be rated about 150 in England. I think he would go really close off that mark. The mark isn't the issue. It's the trip that he's been running over that's been the issue. He wants dropping in trip. As soon as he drops to 2.5 mile, I'll be very keen on him. Hopefully they know that and they can target a big pot like the races at Cheltenham. And if that doesn't work, then come back for this race at Leopardstown in February, where again, I think he would go very, very close.